Suddenly, a man appears on a bike at the top of a mountain. He comes zipping down the mountain. To the naked eye, it looks like he has somewhere very, very important to go. Another man, standing on the side of the road, straddling his bike, asks him, "Hey, where are you going?" And the bikeaholic looks down at his bike and says, "Ask the bike." How many times have you found yourself just zipping through life without any real purpose, hoping that it'll bump into you one day? How you move your body will affect how you move through life. Don't you find there's always two sides to a coin? The flip side to the coin, how you don't move your body, well, I'll let you figure that out for yourself. Good afternoon. I'm Darren Scherbain. I want to start by thanking Dr. Patna, wherever he is, and the team at H.E.A.T for having me here this afternoon. I'm incredibly grateful and honored. Now, I'm going to be very honest with you. I'm going to be very upfront with you. I want something from you. I want something from you. Yeah, I want to look past the white coats, and I want to connect with the people behind those white coats. Because the power of connection, the power of relationships is the key to life. In a recent study, an 80-year-old study, not just a 10-year study, a 5-year study, an 80-year-old study coming out of Harvard, the fourth director of this study, that's how long this study is. It's been 80 years, they've got their fourth director. So Robert Waldinger states that relationships are the key to not only a good body, but a good brain. I am a heroic storyteller, and I'm also an exercise physiologist. Ooh, exercise physiologist, what's that? Well, the best way I can describe it to you is, let's make a smoothie. Who doesn't love a smoothie? What? Of course. It will be sugar-free, it'll be gluten-free, it'll be dairy-free, it'll be organic, very, very cold-pressed, and of course, very, very green. So let's get our blender. And what are we going to throw in that blender? Well, number one, let's throw in a little anatomy. Then let's do some chemistry, some physics, some biology. Give me a sec. I need help with this one. Can somebody help me with that? Psychoneurology. See, even I need a little help with these big words from now and then. Let's also put in sports psychology, neuroplasticity, biomechanics, and of course, lots and lots and lots of movement. So I'm a heroic storyteller. You don't believe me? I come from the John Dewey textbook, where seeing is believing. So let's do a little pragmatic experiment right now. I want everybody to stand up out of your chair. Let's take that compression force off the spine. Everybody stand up. You've been sitting all day. Stand up. Stand up. Stand up nice and tall. We've been sitting all day. The spine doesn't like that. It's so much compression on the spine. So we're going to do a little experiment right now, okay? Now I'm going to count to 3. Now on the count of 3, I want everybody to give me their biggest smile. Now just a minute. I'm not talking about a little hee-hee, I just stuck my gum under the table. I'm talking about today is the day Santa Claus is coming to town. I'm talking about the kind of smile you see with a father with his iPhone, videotaping his daughter on her first bike, a pink and white bike, zigzagging her way up the aisles of a sports store. The smile is going to be so big that we're going to need a bloody ladybug helmet and training wheels to support it. So on the count of 3, I want you to give me your biggest smile. Is everybody ready? Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Show me that smile. Let's see that big smile. Stand up nice and tall. Big smile. Big smile. This lady over here, where is she? She's looking at me and she's like, okay, we've just had a talk about medical marijuana. What else is this guy on? So, with that very, very simple act, okay, we've created a very, very powerful effect. We've started to change the chemistry, not only in our brain, but we've also changed our physical posture as well. Anybody know what are 2 chemicals right away that we've started to release in our body? Can anybody tell me? Pardon me? The endorphins. What else? I'm thinking one will start with the letter D. Yes. And the other one starts with the letter S. Serotonin. I don't have any prizes for you, but I will get a prize for you. This guy's good. I like this guy. He's full of energy. So what we've done, okay, is we've actually got the chemistry in our brain to release more serotonin, more dopamine, and immediately what we've done is all of us have created a more powerful collective story. You remember what I talked about? The key to longevity, the key to happiness is relationships. We, and that's all of us, creates a more powerful story than me. So serotonin and dopamine, serotonin and dopamine, it's going to affect our movement, emotions, the experience of pleasure, memory. Can somebody please help me out with this word, please? The science of psycho... Okay, you get another point as well. You get another point as well. Were you practicing all afternoon? So you're almost as old as that bloody 80-year-old study, aren't you? Well, you're looking damn good. I'll tell you that right away. Okay, now, the science has shown us the link between a strong, resilient immune system and happiness. Now, here's a really interesting fact, and this was out of a study done at the University of Cardiff in Wales, and that they found that people who could not frown due to Botox injections were happier than those who could frown. Now, just a minute. I want to be crystal clear with you right from the get-go. I'm not telling you to go out and get Botox injections, okay? But maybe sometimes things do bump into you. I'm glad everybody's standing because now we're going to come to the elephant in the room. All right, now we're going to come to that elephant in the room. What's the very first thing somebody will tell you when they want to give you some bad news? What? Yeah, no. I do not want you to sit down, okay? I want you to stay standing up, okay? Here's that damn elephant in the room. Sitting is the new smoking, all right? Sitting is the new smoking. Sitting is the new smoking. Anybody want one? Okay. May cause increased risk of metabolic syndrome. Dr. Patton had talked about that this morning. Increased chances of developing diabetes. Muscular passivity. That's going to lead to more insulin resistance, possibly increasing more depression because we're moving less. And, this one I don't like at all. Of course, just like smoking, increased chances of coronary heart disease. Does anybody want one? No? Now, unfortunately, we've got a big problem facing us, okay? Take a look around you. Think about, what does your house look like? What does your work environment look like? You have these bloody ashtrays all around you now. You have these ashtrays all around you now. We're encouraged to sit. We aren't encouraged to move anymore. So what I want to do over the next 34 minutes now is to encourage you to get a little bit more movement into your day and also come up with some strategies how we can implement that movement. What do you think of that? Yes? Good. Have you noticed something too? Okay, here's a little trick. I don't know if anybody's noticed it. Have you counted the amount of steps I've taken walking back and forth to the computer instead of using my little clicker? Right? So it's just all about increasing the movement. So what we've got to look at here is the danger with the excessive and prolonged sitting. You know what our body is designed to do? What is our body designed to do? Move. Genetically, we are hunters and gatherers. When was the last time you had to hunt or gather? Now, hunting, I'm not talking about what you're doing on the weekend when you go out to the bar, okay? What I'm talking about is when have you had to hunt and gather? You know, I'm told that this increased technology is going to make our lives a lot easier. We're going to have more knowledge. Knowledge is power. I totally disagree with that. Experience is power. Listen, I'm the type of guy who will have the perfect chocolate chip cookie recipe. It's perfect. But unless I'm smelling the cookies coming out of the oven, nothing changes. If I haven't grabbed your attention with my cookie story, maybe I'll get it with this one. I can read about having an orgasm. I can study about having an orgasm. But until I've experienced an orgasm, I have no idea what I'm talking about. So what I want you to think about with movement is let's take that very pragmatic approach. Knowledge, knowing what we're up against is not enough. We have to change our behavior. We have to start having new experiences. So let's start with number one, okay? How many people can tell me how many steps are we supposed to get a day? Okay, I got 7.5 over here. I had a 15 over here. The boss has spoken. 4,400. I take a little bit of a different angle on that, okay? I want you to get as many steps as possible for your body, and I'll pick up on that later. But a more important question we should be asking is, how many steps are too few? So what we see is that if you are getting your 10,000 steps a day, it's a reasonable amount. What we're going to see is a decrease in your waist circumference and your BMI. But as I mentioned before, a more important question to ask: how many steps per day are too few? How many steps do you think you've taken today? What does the majority of your day look like? Now, I know in a situation like this, we're encouraged to sit. There's not much we can do about it. But how many steps today have you taken? I look at the body a little differently. Okay, so I'm not going to prescribe you should be taking 10,000 steps. I'm going to be prescribing a different approach. The way I look at the body is we need to build a strong posterior chain, okay? Posterior chain, the kinetic chains, back part of the body. So what are the big muscle groups that I'm looking at? Well, there's one group I like so much. I like putting my hands on it, and I like grabbing it nice and tight. The glutes. Now, I don't want you to get confused, okay? I'm not a proctologist, but I am an ass man, okay? I want strong glutes. Very, very strong glutes. Why do I want strong glutes? Where is the pivot point for human movement? Remember, we've been designed to be hunters and gatherers, okay? We're genetically designed for strong glutes. We're designed to be able to run and to hunt for very, very long time, okay? Unfortunately, how are most of us walking around these days? A tall chest and our chin back, scanning the planes for our next meal, or are we too busy looking at that bloody iPhone? So what we've done is we've effectively changed the pivot point of how we move our bodies. We've taken the emphasis of using the hips as the pivot point of the body, and now what we're using is the lumbar region of the spine. So I want to look at, let's create a strong posterior chain and an extremely strong axial skeleton. Okay, so I want to look at, this has to be the new base for how we move our bodies. So what I want you to think about is I want you to think about starting to walk with your chest up and your chin back. Immediately when we do that, look what I've done. Okay, chest up, chin back. Now it might feel a little awkward. I get that, okay? Can everybody do me a favor and grab that book? Yeah, that one right there. I just want to see how heavy it is first. Okay, that's not bad. Can you put that on your head, please? Everybody, put your book on your head. How many of you are saying right now, where did Patna find this nut job from? I'm a Canadian, and I'm fascinated with human movement. Absolutely fascinated with it. Okay, let's get that chest up, guys. Yeah, isn't it, does it feel a little kind of alien and awkward? This is our natural position. But unfortunately, what are we seeing now with a lot of us? How do we carry our posture? A lot of anterior rotation of the shoulders, protracting the head. Do I have any volunteers? I need one volunteer, a brave, courageous soul to come up and join me. Have a smoke with, no, I'm kidding. To come up and join me. Yes, there he is. Give him a big round of applause. Bring that up, brother. What's your name, sir?
I'm Dr. Rushan.
Dr. Rushan, it's very nice to meet you. I'm Darren. Are you having a good day today?
Yes.
What's been the best part of your day so far?
Food.
Whoa, food, that's cool. Okay, so what I want you to get to do is I want you to put your book on your head, okay? Look at Nam Nam, she's right in there. Okay, nice and tall, chest up, chin back. You don't mind if I touch you a little bit, do you?
No.
Okay, I told you, I'm not a proctologist, but I am an ass man. So what I want you to think about, okay? Can you feel where I'm touching?
Yeah.
Okay, walk with me to the edge of this stage. Okay, chest up, chin back.
Can I hold this?
No, can I hold this? What? Excellent, look at that, look at that. Now this is gonna take a lot of practice, right? Good, good, good. And you can practice this in your hotel room tonight, and tomorrow we'll get you back on the stage again. I wanna know, what are you gonna do for the talent portion of the competition? Hey? The bathing suit contest, or do you have a talent? How does that feel?
It feels nice.
It feels nice? Good, good, good.
It feels mindful because I'm just thinking about it.
Wait a sec, come here, man. Don't, mate. Don't use those words, mindful, okay?
Okay,
Okay, we're going to scare people a little bit. That's a little too esoteric. Let's just talk about strong posterior chain, axial skeleton.
Okay, I think now I can do it easily.
Look at him go. Look at him go. Isn't that amazing, the power of the brain? That was awesome. Give us a big hug, man. Come here. That was great. Great to go. Have a seat. So, when I look at a strong axial skeleton, okay, I mentioned a little bit earlier the posterior chain. What I want you to think about, okay, is this is a drill you can do at home, okay? Chest up, chin back, using those strong glutes as you're walking. Don't be afraid, too, to touch the glutes, okay? We want to remember there's a strong kinesthetic link between the muscles and the brain. So we want to arms up, my dear. Arms up. Arms up. You have nothing to hide from. Arms up. Good. Nice and tall. Chest up, chin back. Very simple exercise that you can do at home or you can do on the stage. Very good. And then start moving in different directions. And what you'll find is that maybe the first time that you practice this, it's going to feel a little, as I said, awkward, unnatural, but the more and more we practice it, we're developing new what? Neuromuscular pathways or more mindfulness. Either or, same, but different. What I want you to think about too, okay, is let's look at my friend here, Mr. Muscle Man, okay? The reason why I wanted you to not stand like this, okay, is very, very simple, okay? I want you to look at Mr. Muscle Man, okay? All right. Oh, they don't have them marked down there. But the deltoid, okay, 3 heads to the deltoid. Immediately, by just opening my shoulders up, I've put my shoulder joint into 2 very, very effective positions for working on a little bit more thoracic mobility. So number 1, what I've done is I'm doing a little horizontal extension of my shoulder. Number 2, just by opening it up, external rotation of my shoulder. So how many hours throughout the day are you behind a microscope? Are you in surgery? Are you dealing with patients that your shoulders are internally rotated? How many times? How many hours? How much is your neck bothering you? All the time. All the time, because we're in this position. I have shortened pec muscles. What that's going to do is it's going to start to pull my head forward. My shoulders anterior rotated. I have extremely, extremely weak mid, lower trapezius muscles. And I'm going to jump into that in about 5 minutes. We're going to talk about office syndrome. Now, here's the good thing, okay? Tim and I, has everybody met Tim? No? You got to meet Tim. He's a great guy. Tim and I put something up, okay? What we've done is I've come up with a bunch of different exercises specifically for you, okay, that will help give you a little bit more thoracic mobility. So all you've got to do is go onto the H.E.A.T website, okay, find my picture, my profile, click on it, and you've got your exercises. Okay, but remember, it's like having an orgasm. I can read all about having an orgasm, but unless I'm doing those exercises, nothing is going to change. I think I'm at about 900 steps. I think I'm a little off the pace from Phuket. I've slowed down a little bit as I'm getting older. Yeah. 3 months old. Okay, we've talked already. Where's our pivot point for movement? Here's another test I'll show you. Everybody sit down in your chair. I'm going to have to steal a chair and bring it up to the front. Thank you. Do you want to come up for another round? Are you okay with that? Okay, come on up. This time you have the seat, yes. Okay, now, I pay attention to the very, very small details. So, yes, I would love that you're getting 4,400 steps a day. I'd love 7,500. Okay, I would love that you're getting 10,000. But my question to you is, what does your first step look like? What does your first step look like? Are you being mindful when you get out of a chair? Chest up, chin back, pull those shoulders back, nice and down. Okay, I just want you to get out of the chair. Stand up. Okay, sit back down. Okay, 2 things I want you to watch. Okay, number 1, what's his first movement? Okay, what you're gonna see, everybody gets out of a chair like this. Our first movement, we're going into that spine flexion. Okay, let's go again. Yeah, there it is again. So, I want to get you out of this position. Why would I have you keep repeating improper biomechanics? So let's fix that right now, and all of us can practice proper biomechanics getting out of a chair, okay? So what I want you to do, number 1, let's externally rotate our hips just a little bit. Let's get our feet away. Now what I want you to think about doing is I don't want you to let your knees collapse, okay? I want you to put your hands on the outside of your thighs, and I just want you to push a little bit against your hands. Okay, I'm gonna come down and help you. Okay, bring your knees in, push against my hands. Go, come on, push, 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 push. Stop, let's do 2 more. Go, push, push, push. Anybody know what muscle we're working? What is the joint action? External rotation, some hip abduction as well. What are the small muscles we're going after? We got a couple big ones as well. Okay, good, good, good. Now, bring those feet out. Externally rotate your hips. Okay, same thing that we did there. You saw how you pressed against the outside of your thighs. Okay, nice tall chest, chin back. Okay, I want you to use your ass to lift up the glutes. Okay, so you might feel a little uncoordinated. You can grab my hand for the first one if you want. Okay? Yeah, use that butt. Use that butt. Drive. Okay, turn that butt on. Go, go, go. Stand up, stand up. Yeah, come on, come on, come on. Good, good, good. Okay, I bet you by about number 4, I can take my hand away. Okay, let's go again. Drive through those hips. Whoa. Yes, you can, brother. Yes, you can. Go. Strong. Stand up. Nice and tall. Excellent. Do you notice the difference in his posture? One more. Hey, wait. Did you just have your hands on your knees? Okay, 5 more. Just because I'm from Canada, don't think I'm a nice guy, okay? Okay, let's do a couple more. Okay, wait, wait, wait. Mindful, right? How did we sit down? Did we just flop over like?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. No, you don't have to be sorry. We'll get it. Okay, nice tall spine. Go. Drive through the ass. Go. Okay, now I want everybody to try this as well, okay? I want you standing up again. I don't want you sitting down. So make sure you have some space. Cue number 1. Okay, we're just going to externally rotate our hips. That's the first move we're going to do. Just externally rotate your hips. Okay, number 2, just put your hands on the outside of the knees, and I just want you to press against the hands. Okay, we'll do a little manual resistance. And then number 3, I want you to stand up. Okay? So number 1, externally rotate the hips. Number 2, okay, I want you to feel those glutes working. Okay, is everybody on board? Yes? Okay. Drive from the glutes. Chest up, chin back. Stand up. From the glutes. Stand up. Good. 1. Okay, we're going to do 10 of these. Okay, here comes number 2. Sit back down. Now, remember, as we're sitting down, we're not just flopping down. Okay? Strong glutes. Let's go. Back down in your chair, then stand up. 2. Good, come on up. 3, good. Just get the legs out a little bit more. Good, drive from the hips. Tall, go. Yeah, 4. That's beautiful. Well, thank you, she says. So our head is up, and I'm pulling my chin back. So I'm not looking down. Yeah, for the first couple of ones, the proprioceptors of the body are trying to figure out, how do I do this without moving my head? So it's trying to keep that head pulled back. Okay, yes, very good. From the hips. Let's go. Strong glutes. Boom. Excellent. I'll get you up on stage next. Okay, back down. Okay, don't let the knees collapse. So what do I mean by that? I don't want to see him doing this. Okay, strong glutes. Let's go. Okay, let's do another one. Yeah, stand up. Boom. Wow. You're going to be ready for your 10,000 steps soon. You only have 9,998 more to go. So let's go. I've got all evening. I'm kidding. Did you notice a difference between the first time you stood up, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth? Were you able to notice a difference? If you did, fantastic. If you didn't, that's okay. That's just how you move your body. All right, thank you. Very good. Thanks. So, when I start working with people, holy smokes, where does the time go? When I start working with people, I'm not telling them to do 10,000 steps. The first thing I do with a person is teach them to get out of the chair properly. I want you to learn how to use your glutes properly. The second thing I do is I assess whether or not the small gluteal muscles, medius and minimus, are strong to support the forces generated when we're walking. Human movement is all about the transfer of force. So my question to you is, when you're moving your body, what is stabilizing the forces? The reason I'm asking this question is when I came out of university, I was dealing with a lot of lower back issues. And there was a guy out of McGill University, a guy named Stuart McGill in Canada, a professor of biomechanics, who looked at the relationship of why are we seeing so much more lower back issues, lower back injuries. And what he found, it's a relationship between the deep QL muscles and the small little gluteal muscles. So if I'm telling somebody, take your 10,000 steps, but the strong little stabilizer muscles can't support the load, am I prescribing the wrong dose of exercise? Yes, I'm not doing my job. So what I want to see is, I don't care about your 10,000 steps. Let's build a foundation on that first step and build off of that. All right? And it starts with those small stabilizer muscles, the medius and minimus. Okay, we've already talked about sitting is the new smoking, and I can't stress this enough. What are some of the health implications of excessive sitting and prolonged sitting? Well, what we're going to see is we're going to see an increased risk of developing diabetes with sitting 8 hours a day. How long do you sit for? How long do you sit for? Add up all the time that you're sitting. Is it more than 8? Less than 8? Yeah. Isn't that crazy? Okay? What we're also seeing is that we're going to see that the muscular passivity, okay, that's not moving those muscles in our legs, our quads, our glutes, our hamstrings, is that's going to increase the insulin resistance. The excessive sitting, when combined with not meeting physical activity guidelines, have depressive symptoms as well. So all it takes when you're sitting at your desk is this, what we just practiced here. Stand up and down 10 times. Do it 10 times with that smile on your face. All it takes, the little movements will add up. The little movements do add up. Now, I talked a lot about this when we did the conference in Phuket. So most people, I'll give them the information, and the first thing they'll think is, I got it, that's okay. It won't happen to me. I'll just exercise a little bit more. Right? And if you're a guy like me, I have blind spots as well. And unfortunately, acute exercise does not thwart the harmful effects of prolonged and excessive sitting. It's the same rationale as having a cigarette than eating a salad. Now, if you're a guy like me, let's go back to that smoothie. Do you remember how healthy that smoothie was? It was organic, it was green, it was blah, 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 blah. How do most of us drink those smoothies? Are we sitting or standing? Sitting. So, this is the big one though. Please make me a deal. Do me a favor. No more sit-ups or crunches. No more. What we're seeing with your typical sit-up or a crunch, excessive compression force on the lumbar region of the spine, the discs in the spine. Okay? What do you think it's doing to your neck? If we're in this position all day at a computer, when I go to exercise, should I still be doing this? No. So think posterior chain, posterior chain, posterior chain. As I mentioned earlier, human movement is all about the transfer of force, contralateral forces. When I'm walking, my pelvis is rotating. How am I going to stabilize that force with movement? What plane of movement should I be working on? Thinking twisting, lateral, as opposed to flexion of the spine. The guys working IT said to me, Darren, we've got a problem. I said, what's that? Isn't it funny how in your 40s, things are now a problem, but when you're a kid playing around, riding your bike everywhere, things weren't a problem, they were just surprises. They said, your picture's crooked. And I said, well, no, it's not. Because look at that position of the guy sitting. Now look at him doing your traditional sit-up. What's the difference? Maybe less compression on the spine. Same position. What I'm worried about, lumbar region and the neck, okay? Potential, okay, what are we doing with that valgus nerve? What's happening there? So we're in this position all the time. What's happening with the valgus nerve? So we talked a little bit earlier about, as doctors, a lot of you are in this position, correct? It's an occupational hazard. Have any of you run into any office syndrome or upper cross syndrome at all? Okay, so what we're going to see is a lot more compression, the lumbar region of the spine, right? Other thing, okay, short pec muscles. Very, very weak and an imbalance in our upper traps, mid traps, lower traps, rhomboids, okay, the thoracic area. All right, so what I want to do right now is I want to give you an exercise you can do throughout the day. I know you're extremely busy, but I want to give you an exercise you can do right now to help with a little bit more thoracic mobility. Please, everybody stand up. I'm going to get you, I'm a little worried about the neck, so can I just get you standing against the wall, and the wall will stabilize the weight of the head? But you can still do it with us, yes? Yes, yeah. Everybody else stand up, please. I just want to make sure your neck doesn't get injured, okay? So occipital lobe just against the wall. Yeah, thank you. Okay. Stand up nice and tall, chest up, chin back. Okay, let's let our thumbs touch. So watch what's going to happen, okay? Arms out in front, my hands are at my shoulder height. Okay, thumbs touch. Very slowly, as I take my thumbs away from each other, I'm going to turn my palms up, and I'm slowly going to bring my arms back. So we got external rotation into horizontal extension of the shoulder. Please pay attention. As we're doing this, I'm not letting my head go forward. I'm not being a turtle. If you have any pain or discomfort in your neck while you're doing this, please stand against the wall. Let the wall stabilize the weight of the head. Take the load off those neck muscles. So nice and slow. Open up. There's 2. We're going to do 15 of these. 3, 4. Are your shoulders getting tired yet? 5, 6, 7, 8. Mr. Mindful, as you're doing this, okay, think about your fingers just reaching away from the body. 9. Focus on your fingers reaching away from the body. 10. When you focus on your fingers reaching away from the body, we're actually practicing being very mindful. We're focused on the now. We'll just decompress the amount of stress that we have in our life any chance we get. We've had enough of it, don't we? What are we at? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Really good. Okay, so go to the H.E.A.T website. Okay, I've got this exercise for you guys. I would recommend, okay, I know you're extremely busy, okay? I know how much you're dedicated to your profession, okay? But if you're not at your best, you can't give your best. All right? So what I want you to think about doing, I know you've got to sit all day, okay? Every hour, I want you to get up from your desk, okay? I want you to put the stupid book on your head. I want you to do a lap. Hey, would you rather be a hunchback or people thinking you're weird with a book on your head? Right? It's how we move our body. Let's correct these imbalances. So we can walk around our desk, come back behind our desk. We can do 10 squats up and down out of that chair using our glutes. This guy, you're looking good, man. Just keep the hands up a little bit more at shoulder height. Don't let them fall down. Good, very good. Reach those fingers away. How's that neck? Is it okay? Okay, and if the neck starts to be an issue, you can just make a quick adjustment. Do this lying on your back. Okay, very good. All right, everybody please sit down. Okay, the next thing I want to look at is NEAT, all right? Non-exercise activity thermogenics. I've got about 2.5 minutes. How can we get more movement in our day even when we're not exercising? It's the little steps, the small steps, right? So setting our timer, walking around our desk with that book on our head. You know, when we go shopping, parking maybe at the back of the parking lot instead of looking for the seat at the front. All right, taking the stairs, not the elevator. What would be another way that we could get a little bit more movement in? All right, the little things. Don't use the clicker if you're doing a presentation. Walk, manually change it. Everything adds up. Everything adds up. The small movements count. The small movements count. Do you know the physics of a domino? Does anybody know the physics of a domino? Did you play with dominoes as a kid? Who did? Who said yes? Oh, I talked to you earlier today. Yeah, I'm going to come bother you. Hi, how you going? Are you having a good day? Cool. Nice to see you again. Okay, did you play with dominoes when you were a kid?
Oh, yes.
What sound did they make when you'd knock them over?
It's like a continuous clicking.
Yeah, how did it sound? What? Like what? Get in there. Let me hear. Like what?
Okay, it goes like click, tuk, 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 tuk.
There it is. Tuck, 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 tuck. Now, do you know the physics and the domino effect? No?
Not really.
Okay, a domino will knock over another domino 1.5 times its size. Okay, now, if we start with a little itty bitty 5 millimeter domino, how big is 5 millimeters?
It's really,
Yeah, really small, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what's the point? Why even bother, right?
with that it makes a big impact.
There we go. So we start over here, 5 millimeters for our first little flick, our first little shove, our first little nudge, our first get up out of our chair 12 times. We extend it 29 times. Do you know how big our last domino will be?
Never tried it.
Me neither. Our last domino will be the size of the Empire State Building.
Wow.
All of that from one little change.
Momentum.
The momentum, 1.5 times compound interest.
Wow.
So all you need to do to make that change to get a little bit more movement into your day, 12 stand-ups out of your chair. And adds up. Thank you.
Wow. Thanks for the tip.
You're welcome. My pleasure. So it's getting more movement throughout the day. Don't worry about these big blasts of excessive exercise. And unfortunately, exercise is not enough. We've got to be thinking about movement, movement, movement. Now, I'm going to leave you with one last story. Okay, I've been there. My dominoes always fall down. You know, as a kid, I'd have that nice stack, and I'd knock it over, and it was like, ah, shit, I got to start again. Isn't it like that in life? Sometimes we have to start again. I mean, who really wants to fall down with their face in the mud again? Do you know how important mud is? No? A lotus is a flower that grows in the mud. The deeper and thicker the mud, the more beautiful the flower. Have an amazing day. I'll see you guys on Saturday, where I'm going to talk about the latest science in changing behavior in motivation science. Have an amazing day.